TomoNews presents Magnets.
A 34-year-old Utah salesman has recently had sound-transmitting magnets implanted in his ears, effectively creating invisible earphones. Rich Lee can listen to music without anyone knowing. He had tiny magnets implanted invisibly in the cartilage on the front of his ears by a body modification expert. An incision was made along the top ridge of each tragus, and encased, implant-safe magnets were then inserted inside. By connecting his music player to a loose wire coil placed around his neck, a magnetic field is created. The signal is picked up by the tiny magnets, generating sound. Lee plans on eventually connecting the device to an ultrasonic rangefinder, which he claims will imbue him with bat-like echolocation powers.
This maglev vehicle also doubles as a living room. A Canadian company has released an innovative idea that expands the concept of self-driving cars into self-driving rooms. Known as Tridika, the self-driving room can be configured to resemble a car interior or an office or other type of room. The Tridika works like a maglev train, with electromagnetism elevating and propelling the cabin. When the Tridika cabin reaches its destination building, ramps are used to elevate it into its slot. The host building will detect the cabin and open the door automatically. The co-development with the Indian Institute of Science is still in its infancy. Whether the concept ever becomes a reality is an open question.
European atom smasher gets an upgrade. Researchers operating the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator may be closer to discovering the secrets of our universe because it has received a serious power upgrade in the last few months. The European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, operates the Large Hadron Collider located 100 meters under the Franco-Swiss border. The particle accelerator first strips hydrogen atoms of their neutrons and electrons, leaving only protons. Prior to the upgrade, the particles were accelerated at up to 8 trillion electron volts, producing the conditions that triggered the Higgs boson discovery in 2013. However, in recent months, the accelerator has been overhauled with superconducting magnets able to handle higher currents, giving it the ability to go up to and possibly beyond 13 trillion electron volts, opening the possibility to discovering particles like the elusive supersymmetry particle that is said to be the key to discovering dark matter. In addition to the power upgrades, significant changes have also been made to the safety, cooling, and computing infrastructure as well, such as adding over 100 petabytes of additional data storage to cope with the increased amount of data that is expected from the new experiments phase.
Lexus shows off its highly anticipated hoverboard in action. Lexus formally unveiled a functioning hoverboard on Tuesday in a 2-minute video posted on YouTube. The hoverboard uses electromagnets to lift it off a surface, allowing for near-frictionless movement. Inside the hoverboard is a copper oxide superconductor, which is cooled to below 200 degrees Celsius using liquid nitrogen to make it superconductive. The board itself is made of bamboo and can carry weights of up to 200 kilograms. Cryostats on both ends of the board allow for constant cooling of the superconductor. The board can be refilled with liquid nitrogen if needed. The board and pathway interact to create flux pinning, a trapped magnetic field. The hoverboard can only glide on these magnetic pathways and not on ordinary surfaces. The hoverboard was displayed by engineers at Lexus's Tokyo division and is the 4th project in the company's Amazing Motion publicity campaign.
A giant magnetic storage ring used in high-energy physics experiments will be moved from Brookhaven National Laboratory in New York to Chicago. The electromagnetic ring assembly is 50 feet or 15.24 meters in diameter and weighs around 15 tons. The magnet will be loaded onto the back of a specially equipped truck and transported overland on wide roads at 8 kilometers per hour at midnight. The assembly will then be loaded onto a barge and transported south past Florida and up the Mississippi River to Illinois. When it arrives at the U.S. Department of Energy's Fermilab, it will enter the MC1 building via a special slot in the building's wall. The electromagnet has been dubbed the 700-ton Swiss watch due to its high precision and incredible weight.
NASA may have found a way to bring water back to Mars. NASA's scientists think it's possible to restore Mars's oceans by creating an artificial magnetic field that sits in front of the planet. Scientists say it is possible to place an inflatable structure that generates a magnetic dipole field at the Mars L1 Lagrange point. This would form an artificial magnetic shield to protect the planet from solar wind and radiation. Under this protection, the Martian atmosphere could become thick enough to melt carbon dioxide ice at the northern pole. In time, the atmosphere could spark a greenhouse gas effect that could restore some of Mars's oceans. Scientists said if the Martian atmosphere could be greatly enhanced over the next few decades, it would help pave the way for colonization on Mars.
Creator of the hoverboard wants to make your house float. Greg Henderson, the co-founder and CEO of ArxPax, the company behind Hendo Hoverboard, has revealed that electromagnetic hoverboard technology may be the future of earthquake-proofed homes. During an earthquake, the main danger to a building structure is lateral movement. Today, most earthquake-proofing systems decouple buildings from the ground using base isolation bearings so that they can move freely without compromising the building's integrity. ArxPax currently holds patents for a buffer system that uses water or gas to raise homes, protecting them from destructive lateral movement. But Henderson's new system would rely on electromagnetics to produce repulsive magnetic force and lift the house. The house would be linked to the U.S. Geological Survey's Shake Alert system, allowing it to activate the electromagnet and hover for up to 90 seconds when an earthquake is detected. The Shake Alert system, which relies on a series of sensors placed near fault lines, has already proven effective in giving the residents of earthquake-prone areas a head start on incoming earthquakes.
The ITER nuclear fusion project is 50% complete. More clean energy than needed by all of humanity? Yes, please. Construction on the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor in southern France has reached the important halfway milestone. Fusion energy looks to replicate the same process that powers the sun by converting hydrogen atoms into helium through a process that occurs at extreme temperatures. The reactor will have to be able to sustain temperatures 150 million degrees Celsius, 10 times hotter than the sun's core. The massive donut-shaped tokamak reactor will be surrounded by giant magnets that take superheated plasma away from the metal walls of the container. This requires the magnets to be cooled to negative 269 degrees Celsius. The ITER is aimed at using hydrogen fusion to create heat energy that can drive turbines to produce electricity.
Volvo magnets to align cars to road. Volvo's newest autonomous vehicle technology uses road magnets to position cars on the road. This novel positioning method is not affected by poor weather conditions or physical obstructions. Volvo's research team embedded ferrous magnets in the road, which generates magnetic fields that are picked up by sensors equipped in the self-driving vehicle. The magnets form a kind of railway to which the autonomous cars can align themselves. Volvo says that incorporating this technology can prevent run-off road accidents and allow for more efficient use of road space. Tel Aviv, Israel could become the world's first city to get the magnetically levitating Skytran mass transit system, local officials say. The Skytran system consists of pods that hang from overhead connectors, levitated by magnetism. Each pod carries 2 people, giving the riders privacy and a quiet ride due to the pod's magnetic suspension. The pods can be hailed by computer, tablet or smartphone and arrive almost instantaneously. The pods enter a continuously moving stream and only stop at their destination. Skytran hopes to get the project started in 2014, pending financial and government permits. The system was co-developed by NASA and Skytran, a private company based at the NASA Ames Research Center in Silicon Valley.